Hello, ladies. Okay, so we just missed the alphabet song. Those of you that are missing it, sing to yourselves. Okay, so we're starting on page 9. I'm getting old. And so now we're going to look at that final shape of a mem. In order for us to eventually read the word shalom, which is like the next goal word, which you don't know yet, but I'm telling you, you need to have that M ending. It ends always, always, always. It's gonna, that boxy looking M versus the mountain round, but they're both M's. And very much it looks like a box with a little tail at the top when you're just doing it, printing it like yourself. It just, you kind of make a square with the top little tail up at the top, just to have it other than look like a square. So mem equals mem equals mem. At the beginning of the word is the mountain, and at the end of the word is the box. Okay, it's a new letter and a new shape, but it's the same sound, you know. You're not learning another sound today. So we're just looking at the first line. I'm not making you read ma, 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 ma. You just look at it. There's the mem, 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 there's the mem. How to spell it? M-E-M. Put it at the top of your page. M-E-M. Mem. And so line 2, we can do, let's do 1 or 2 lines together. So this would be mean.
Mean.
Lean.
Lean.
Right.
Love.
Good. Let's do another couple lines before I make you suffer. Okay, line 3.
Lem.
No, lem. Somebody, sorry, lem.
Lem.
Lame.
Lava.
Main. Oh, there's how you spell the word. Mem. There you there's the letter, spelling of it. And the line 4 again is main. Amy Eisenhower.
Lame.
Oh no, that's an E. Sorry, I can't see it. I should get glasses. Okay. And we'll just do line 5 together too, and then we'll separate out. So another line of the same vowels that you know with that final mem sound, each one. Same word, sorry. Okay, very good. So now we're going to do line 6. Marlene, are you ready to try something? You have to unmute though, honey. Good to see you this week. Okay. And that's the little ah vowel.
Lachim, lachim, mala. I have a problem with
Yes.
two consonants.
Okay. Yeah. So that's a great thing. Nancy asked that before. When you're looking at this line 6, that 4th word, this is not really how you spell anything. It's just gibberish. And it doesn't tell you what to do with that mem, because letters just never hang by themselves. So it's really, it's confusing, and they shouldn't have done it. But I would just kind of make it like an M sound with like an apostrophe, like a mala.
Okay.
Like kind of go with the M sound, but don't go too far with it. Mala.
Okay. Malachim.
Right.
Malachim.
And what happens when Marlene just got to that word?
It's the word of the day.
Malachim. There you go. Very good. Word. It's a what do you call those things? An exclamation point, which means you're reading the word, the goal word. Very exciting. But line 7, we're not going to all, but you all can look at it. Let's just say it 3 times. Malachim. Malachim. Very good. Now line 8, Harriet.
Malche.
Good.
Malachim.
Good.
Melech.
Good.
Malache.
No.
Malache.
Malche.
Oh, Malche. Oh, that's right. There's no A. Malche.
Right.
Malachim.
Yes. Excellent. Excellent. Okay. Buzzing right along. Elizabeth.
Okay, I'm chicken, but I'll do it.
Who cares? You screw it up, you screw it up. Who cares? Anyone care?
No.
Me, Melech, Malchi.
No. The vowel 2 dots or what?
Well, it's A, but I thought if it has an A and if it has 2 dots and a U, still A.
It's still A. That's
Okay.
correct. stop, everyone stop. Everybody stop. Go to page 6 for 1 second, Elizabeth.
Okay.
Top of the page. Just take a look at that so it stays with you a little.
Oh,
When
yeah.
you have the 2 dots or even the 1 dot, which is another page, who cares? It's the same as the 2 dots with the yud. The yud is hanging up there as a space saver. I don't know why, and we don't care. It's the same exact vowel. I
But-
don't know why it had
If it's 1 dot and a yud, then.
1 dot in the yud is an E. So it's an E or a E,
Okay.
A or A.
Okay.
Same thing, perfect. So I'm glad you asked that. That's good. So now let's use the line 9, and that last word is what?
Malkim.
Mila, it's again, that M shouldn't really, it's Milachim.
Malachim.
Milachim. Right, excellent, excellent. All right, Nancy, how about you for 10?
Mi melech, malche,
Good.
malchim,
Milachim. Milachim.
melachim, right.
Now,
melach-
look at this. If you were sitting here 2 weeks ago, look at those words. They're like, 4 or 5 letter words. And you've got them all, right? Everybody's happy? Well, happy, I don't know, but everyone's okay?
Yes.
Happy, my mother would say, who's ever happy? Okay. Was not a positive person, let's be kind. Okay, who's happy? All right, now we're gonna learn a hay. You can spell it H-A-Y like the hay that horses, or H-E-Y, makes little difference how you spell it in English. However, you're gonna write it on the top of the page for you to remember it, knock yourselves out. And I want to bring your attention to a hay, because a hay has a hole on its leg. You see that side? It's not a full line. I'm not going to confuse you, but I am. Nancy and I did this before you came. The hay has the hole. A hole compared to what? Eventually, there's going to be another word that doesn't have a whole letter.
Chet.
A
Yeah.
het is a solid. So because we're learning these in a different order, if we had learned this first, you'd say, and how are you going to remember the hay the hole? Later on, we're going to learn tav. Forget the one with the dot. I'm on the wrong side. Just for a moment, the tav looks just like the chet, but it has a toe. So remember how we learned that very first week with the box, with the yud, the vav, the resh, and the final chaf. It was all that same exact shape. This is very, very similar, 3 different letters. One has a hole, one is a straight line, and one has a toe. I don't know if you could see this, Michelle, but
Yeah.
so that's why we're teaching you the whole, but compared to what, you don't know the other letters yet, but eventually you will, and you'll always remember, hey, has the hole in that line. Okay, it's like a half of a line, not quite, but hey, half line also is a H word. So however you'll remember it, but that's it. Okay, I wouldn't say it has a space because that's not an S word. It's not an S clue, a hint. So hey has a hole, or whatever. And so now our goal word is at the top, and let's just look at line 1. Again, it's he, ha, hey, who, whatever. It's just an H sound, nothing special, nothing easy to say. Everyone could say H. It's an English word. It's not something you have to when we get to chet compared to chaf, and you're going to say there's 2 words, 2 letters. That's true. Which one? We don't care how you spell it. We just don't know how to read it. So let's look at line 1, and we could just do this together. If I could see it, I need a lamp that's brighter or glasses. Okay. So it's he,
Hey,
All right. So it's just an H sound. And then let's look at line 2. We could do that together as well.
He,
Yeah. Okay. And line 3 as well. Go ahead. You guys could do it yourselves. You ever play that game where you lay on each other's bellies and you say ha, 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 ha? Anyway, that's what it reminded me of, I guess. I don't know, we did that at camp in the 60s, 50s. Okay, line 4, and again, it's just the letters you know with the same H, nothing complicated. Let's do line 4 together.
Allah,
Allah,
La,
aha,
Ah,
ta,
ama,
Ama, Hey,
good.
Amer.
So this would never, ever happen, line 4, third word, because what did they do in learning these letters? They put a mem, a regular mem at the last
Right.
letter.
At the
It's not
end,
a
right?
word. It's not a word. It's just sounds and letters for you to recognize them. So don't think, oh my God, there's the mem and it's not. No, it's
Right.
just babble. It's babble. Okay. And let's do line 5.
Sorry, I just want to ask you,
Anything.
the first word in line 4,
Yep.
is that not also challah? Challah? The bread?
Well,
It's
no, because challah doesn't start with an H.
Starts with
But
the,
the
It
CH,
starts
not
with the letter you don't know yet. a chet.
oh, the chet.
Right. Or a chaf. I have to think how you spell challah, maybe with a chet. No, it's a CH.
It's a
That
CH.
doesn't
yeah, but
exist.
Okay.
You
then
say
I-
challah, but it's challah.
I say challah. Some people do say challah, though.
Well, that's
Okay.
not correct. The same way as
Okay.
Hanukkah is not a H sound. It's a
It's chah.
Hanukkah. Right. I'm glad you asked that. No, anything you ask, everyone else is thinking, so don't feel shy. Okay, so yeah, really don't. And again, here's a mem at the end of a word, but it's not a word. Let's look at line 6. So in this
5.
case, it would be ham, but that would never be spelled like that.
Amla,
Are we on
Amla,
5 or 6?
We're on 5.
oh,
Oh,
5.
Oh,
Right.
okay, whatever you want.
Amer, Amelech,
Challah?
Amelech, Amer.
Meh.
Amen.
Meh.
Right, never to be spelt that way. Good. So
Right.
now let's separate it out. Poor, who am I up to? Janice, line 6.
Hum,
Good.
hum, hamla,
Good.
hum, lach, hum, lache.
That.
Lachi.
It's a E vowel, so it's,
Oh.
let's go to the third
Hum,
letter.
lachi. Okay.
Right. Ham, la, chi. Right, and again, it's phonetical. You can't screw it up. As long as spelling doesn't count in this group, we're good, right? Toby, how about line 7?
Hamlachi,
Good.
hamlachi, hamlachim,
Yes,
hamlachim.
excellent. And
And
guess
that's
what
the
she
word.
got to? The goal word, hamlachim. Hamlachim, very good. And we'll just.
Margie, I'm assuming these goal words are in this song, Shalom.
I hope so. I have to find it. Yes, they're supposed to be. I guess we could sit there and look at the song and try to find that word, hamlachim.
Okay.
Let's see if we can.
Hey, I have a question, Margie. I know that that we're not talking about what the words mean, but I know that the ha at the beginning of a word changes its meaning. Can you remind me what it does to the word? When the hey is at the beginning of it?
If I spoke Hebrew, I would know that answer.
Isn't it the?
I thought it was the also.
Yeah, I think it's the.
I thought it was, but I'm trying to think. I'll double check that, but I think it changes it to the noun instead of just the noun.
Okay, so on line
That
2,
sounds
the
familiar.
third word in is the word of the day, hamlachim.
Yes.
Okay. Goal word.
In fact,
Okay.
I'll try to do a little bit more looking ahead so I know some of these words so that when you ask that question, I don't feel like an idiot. Yeah, I think it's the, but that's what I remember, Nancy. So you're
Yeah,
right.
that's what I remember too.
Yeah, me too. Okay, so now let's just look at 8, 9, and 10 before we go on. Malche.
Okay.
Hamlachim, hamlachim. All right, let's do 9, 9. Who wants it? I've lost track. Sheila. I've lost track who's up, so it doesn't matter.
Okay. Melech,
Good,
Malche,
good.
and Malachim.
Say that last word again on line 9.
Hamlachim.
Excellent. Yep.
Okay.
I'm old. I can't hear that one. No, I can't. Elizabeth, how about finishing it up on line 10?
Mi melech, Malke,
Hey, right.
Hamlachim.
Right. And look at that word. 1, 2, 3, 4 syllable word. And you said it.
And to go back, that somebody that wrote in this book that Hamlachim is the king.
Okay, there you go.
Mhm.
Okay, there you go. And again, this is the letter hey. I've seen it written both ways. At the bottom of this page, it says H-A-Y. I've seen it written H-E-Y. It's an English writing of a Hebrew letter. So how you spell it in English is, knock yourself out. So now we just learned 2 new letters. So now let's take a quick review on page 11. And we're just going to name the letters as if you remember them. I'm not sure you do, but let's see if you do. So line 1, which are in the boxes anyway. We'll take a moment. Let's look in the box. You see the top box, the black box? So that's a mem. I'll just say it if you want. Mem,
Mem,
final mem,
Oh, man.
lamed,
Lamed, Hey,
Kaf, no,
Hey.
kaf,
Ha,
Off.
kaf, hey.
I know.
Let's do that again. Mem,
Mem,
final
Final.
mem,
Mem,
Solomon,
lamed,
Lamed,
kaf,
Hey,
Off.
final
Final.
kaf,
Kaf,
hey.
Kaf,
And let's look at the vowels.
Kaf.
It's an E vowel, E, E, E,
E,
A, Ah.
Ah,
Okay, so that's what we're up to so far, slow and steady. We're going to get this. And this is just a review page. So let's take a look. The first line is just the letters. The second line is, there's your, the me with the yud in some of them and not in all of them. Me, Lee, he,
E,
ha,
Me,
meh,
Me,
ma,
La,
la,
Le,
lay.
He.
Okay, right.
Can I ask a question?
Of course.
Okay, so I didn't print this out and I can't scroll up and down because I'm getting a little dizzy with this. So I forgot what the 1 dot is. Is that
E is an
F,
E is an
E?
E. So
It's an E, then the 2 dots is
A, A.
F.
So let's review
Okay.
them from Michelle. 1 dot is in, and I was going to make a chart, but I realized in the Florida house, I don't have my crayons. There's a fabulous chart that I created and I've seen other people use it, but I thought I invented it 30 years ago. I took a color and the color was red and it's a short E and I put the 3 dots next to it.
Mhm.
I used yellow O with the O vowel, blue with the U, which you don't know yet, U vowel, and green with the 2 E's is the hard E with the 1, the double. So I'm gonna get some crayons and I'll make you one of those and I'll try to take a picture and scan it and send it to you.
Perfect.
My color chart of the vowels, but let's review them. 1 dot is in, what is everybody?
E,
And 1 dot with the yud next to it is a
E.
E. 2 dots next to each other is a
A,
A. 2 dots next to each other with a yud is a
A,
3 dots, bowling ball, little fingers is a
A,
yeah. And the straight line and the little T, the way we're learning it is a
Ah,
ah. Correct. All right.
So for me, just so when I am reading it, I think of 1 dot is me by
yes,
myself.
I love when you told us that. Tell them
2
again.
dots is playing because it takes 2 people to play.
Yep.
And then 3 dots is because you never know how that's going to turn out.
Right.
very good.
Right. So any trick you have, once you learn these, you're never going to forget the little tricks. You're just going to, right? You never do, right, Toby?
Right.
So does that help a little bit, Michelle?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. You're welcome. Never. Okay. And is there any, as I just said at the beginning of the whole thing, I took the what do you call it, PDF to Home, what do you call that place? Home Depot? Not Home Depot.
Depot.
Office Depot. And it was $11 and I printed the whole book. So
I
yeah.
bought the book from
All right.
Amazon. It's out of print.
I
so it's a
know.
copy. And it smells really
Oh.
like it's old.
And mine didn't smell. I got it from Amazon.
Oh, well, I'm sorry.
Mine smells.
Oh, sorry, I'm sorry.
So did I miss something? I'm missing a lot. I apologize. I'm
That's
like
okay.
fixated with my camera not working. So there's a book that we.
It's Neil Galin, it's Neil, right? Neil Galinkin.
Noah.
Noah, I'm sorry, Noah
Noah.
Galinkin is David Galinkin's brother. David Galinkin is the head of the Schechter Institute in Israel. And 30 years ago, his brother Noah wrote this particular curriculum, and it is a book, and you can find it online, the smelly version or not, sometimes for $17, sometimes for $25. As I said, I took the PDF and I literally went to Office Depot, and for $11.07, I think it was, I printed the whole book. So, and there's no smell.
Yeah.
Or one of the teachers I was telling you literally shared the screen so that everybody could just look at the screen. But I kind of want us to see each other. It's not a big
Right.
group, but if I did that, I'd see 3 or 4 of you. And so that's why I kind of rather you have your own copy.
Also, you want us to practice.
And of course, I want you to practice, right? So whatever works for you, Michelle.
No, I'd love to buy the book.
So why don't you go online? If you go on Amazon or go on, just Google it, Noah Galinkin, and the name of the book is Shalom Aleichem. And maybe you'll be lucky and find a copy, and hopefully it won't smell. And I would do that. This way you have it. And okay. Unless you want to check, unless you want to, don't laugh at me, unless you want to ask your pulpit rabbi and
Right.
say any chance you have from 30 years, well, let me just think, how many years did I take this class? 30 years ago. The 30-year-old book, the Shalom Aleichem from Noah Galinkin.
Which, when it was published, cost $3.95.
So
It's
maybe your
copyright
pulpit
19
rabbi has it, and or maybe
Right.
your synagogue library that no one's walked into in 10 years. They might actually have a copy. So before you do that, I would just even call your rabbi and say, any chance on your bookcases you have an old Shalom Aleichem I could borrow.
I don't mind buying the book.
I know, but this way you have it right there. And
Just as an aside, I'm taking 2 classes. I'm doing this class and I'm doing a class through my synagogue, and they're using a book called Aleph Isn't Tough. This is so much better.
Oh, glad. Good.
It is
Good.
so much, I don't know why, it's so much easier.
Good. Good.
So,
I think that's why with all of the people who are teaching, and there's so many different textbooks, and you're at the mercy of whatever principles from your religious school kind of thing, that there are many to choose from. And when they decided to have this adult class, which was always an adult class from 30 years ago, they all said, we want the Galinkin book. We don't, that's, you feel success. I mean, you guys already know, remember there's only 15 words in that song. Remember, we discussed that day one. Well, you probably know of, 5 or 6 of them already. So you feel like you're accomplishing something. It's not going to take long for you to be able to read that whole prayer, which is exciting, not to feel like you have to wait, 3 months till you get to say shalom.
yeah.
My 2 cents. Anyway, so does anybody want to take a look at page 11? Because I would like to go on a drop and teach you at least one more letter today. Anybody, and I might teach you a silent letter, which is easy. Yes, go ahead, Elizabeth.
Line 5,
Good, line 5.
the last word.
Okay, hey, don't forget, oh, thank you. Okay, hey, oh, thank you. Let's everyone look at that. Line 5, it's 3 letters, Michelle. It's a lamed, a chaf, and a hey ending the word. And so there's only one vowel, even though the first letter should have a vowel, but that's all right. So leche, the H is silent. When a hey, mostly always, a hey is an H, but when it's the last letter of a word, more often than not, it's silent. Again, I don't even know, unless it had a vowel to it, why they need that space holder. But
Would
again,
that be lacha?
Thank you. Yeah.
Lacha, because it's a little T.
Line 5, the last word has a
Lacha.
lacha, but there are times like
Ha, it's a ha.
It's it's like even line 6 in the middle there, it's ma.
Right.
It's not maha. It's just kind of ending with that sound, like a breath. Ma.
Line 6, third word from the left, is that laha? Is that?
Yes, yes. Now, why does a final letter have a vowel? Sometimes it does. So look at that. That's a great question. Sometimes that final chaf has a vowel in its middle of its belly. You're going to see that. So it's lacha.
Where is that?
Line 6. We're skipping
page?
around, but I want you to do that. Skip around and look
Oh,
at
I
the
see.
lacha.
Which page?
Page 11. So it's me, lahem, him, ma, like ma, ma. Doesn't really have that H. It kind of just ends that word. Lacha. Haim, like the beginning of him in, but except that wouldn't be how you spell it. And mem, like the letter. Let's take a look at this. Let's skip around. Let's go to line 8.
Wait. Can we go to line 7, the
You
third
can
word?
go anywhere you want. Let's go to line 7. Okay, go
third
ahead.
word.
What do you think it is, Nancy?
Um,
Give me the whole line.
oh, the whole line?
Yeah, why not?
Helm.
Hill, hell, or hail,
Yep.
helem.
Helm.
Helm.
There's
It-
no, okay.
There's
Helem?
no anywhere. It's helm.
Okay. Helm, like, okay.
Like the village in Helm in the.
Yeah, but it's not a CH, okay.
No, in this case, it's not. Right.
I'll hey. Halem. Halel.
Milch. Look at the fourth word. It almost would be milch. Milk, like almost like milk. You know how in English L and a K are together and there's no vowel there?
Right.
So that in that sense, it would almost be like the word, but it's an E. So milch,
Milk.
like milk. It's an E sound.
Is
Milch.
that a common combination, the lamed prior to the final, I forgot what it's called.
Final chaf.
Yeah,
I guess it could be, it's like we have this L and a K or an L and a CH, but I'd have to think of words that have it. I'd have to like think about Hebrew words that have that. But there's no vowel, and you know that this is a phonetical thing. So where the vowels go, so you almost have to connect them like you do in English. Look at the word milk, like regular drinking milk. There's only one vowel, 3 consonants. So what do you do with them all? You kind of combine them and just create that sound. So just like that's M-I-L-K, in this example, it's M-E, M-E-L-K, and milk.
And is the last word like what we do at services like once a month, Hallel, or,
Hallel.
is that word?
I'd have to look.
Okay, you don't need to do it. It's
I
okay.
have a Siddur right here, but I'd have to look. How you spell Hallel, I don't know, but I
Okay,
can look it up. Yeah.
okay.
So it's a little confusing because these aren't really words. They're just
Okay.
having you recognize those sounds.
I'm glad to hear that because
Yes, right, Sheila? Yeah.
these tongue twisters are going to make you be able to
Yes.
read a lot easier when you see the real
Yes,
thing.
yes. So anybody pick any line that they look at a word and say, I don't get that one. Or let's go to line 12. Let's everyone take a turn at line 12. Go ahead, Elizabeth, line 12. Let's go to the harder line.
Melech,
Good,
Malche,
good.
Lachim, Malche,
Excellent.
Mimelech, Hamlachim.
Now you know those words, not just
Yeah,
that it's reading them. You know they're familiar words from Shalom Aleichem, right? Okay. So I would say for homework, just go over page 11 to make sure that you know all the letters are at the top of that. That's a review page. So I would do that. All right, not to confuse you. We have a lot of time, so I think I'm not going to teach you any. I'm going to teach you one more letter and one more vowel, because the goal word is shalom.
Oh.
And so that's, I'm telling you what it is. So you don't know the sh sound. And in the song, it's shin, sin, tav. Shin and sin look alike. Hold on. This is the weirdest thing to do this backwards and on my computer, on my thing here. I'm using typing paper. Okay, I'm gonna make believe I have a blackboard in front of me and I'm just gonna hold it up. Forget the fancy.
While you're doing that, can I ask you a question? When
Okay.
did they make, and I don't remember the name of the letter, but when did they make the S into a T?
About,
Because I was taught, I had a bas mitzvah, not a bat mitzvah, and then all of a sudden they switched it. So I'm singing S's, half the congregation is singing S's, and everybody else is saying T's, because somewhere somebody decided to change the S to a T.
because as I told you, when we learned the little ah and the little T, the vowel, those were the two huge things that about 25 years ago, they said, let's all do what Israel does. Not the Sephardic way and the Ashkenazi way. Let's just do what Israel does. So the two big changes were the ah and the little or, because remember we talked about that. It was boruch. It's a little T thing under it. And now you hear half the group going boruch ator. You can hear that I'm exaggerating, versus the ones that say baruch atah. And the other is this. When we learn this, you can't see it. It's a tav. We learned it as two separate letters, a tav and a sav. Bas mitzvah versus bat mitzvah. Sukkos versus sukkot. And those were the two huge changes. I can't even think of anything else that you're going to hear, depending on the age of the congregation. The 80-year-old guy is getting up there for an aliyah. I can do like a Brooklyn thing here. Yes, go ahead.
Which of the two ways in each of the two instances is the current Israeli way?
They're both ah and they're both t.
T, okay.
There's no S anymore at that end when you see this letter. With or without the dot, it's the only time that sound is no longer going to change. It used to change.
And the vowel, which vowel is
The little straight line and the little T.
They're both still used?
They're both here. Let me put that on my little
They're both
sheet.
still used.
They're both, oh, yes. So let's do them on my little sheet here. They're both an ah. She can't see it, the one that can, but they're both an ah.
Okay.
And they used
from
to
my
not
time
be.
it was or.
This was ah, and this was or.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Right. So when you have an 80-year-old, I'm telling you, they're going to get up. They're going to say, good Shabbos. When is Sukkot? She's having a bas mitzvah. Not wrong. But about 25, I don't know if it was 30 years ago, maybe 30, but not 60. I mean, Israel's 70, 3 years old. Be 74 in May, I think. My brother and Israel are a week apart. So I have to think, how old is my brother going to be? He's a year older than me. I have to think. So you'll know when an older person is saying something, and anybody, 40 and younger for sure are all going to have it the new way. It's most of us that learned it one way and now it's, what is she talking about? That's not how I learned it. I don't remember that. That's why. So and eventually we're not up to it. They're both going to be a T, not one is an S. Those are the two big changes. All right. So now we're going to learn one letter. And I'm not going to teach you both, but I want you to see them. It looks like a little bit like a W, Michelle. Michelle, can you see us?
I can see. I can see.
Poor girl gets to see us. Okay.
Not able to work it. I apologize.
No, it's fine. We'll take a picture of you and put it on her. We're just going to learn shin today, but I want you to look at them. Shin is not a word that exists in English. SH exists in English, but in Hebrew, it is one letter. It's an SH sound. We're learning shin today. I'm just telling you, eventually there's going to be two. And how are you going to learn which one's which?
The dot.
Well, the dot is on both.
Yeah, but one on one side and one on the
So
other.
here's my trick. It's not the best trick. You can go, Toby will come up with a better one. It's never right to sin.
That's what I said too.
Okay.
I always said if it's a shin if it's on the right, and it's a sin if it's not on the right.
Yeah. So it's never right, never correct to sin. Not a good thing. So that's why, that's how I remember it. So the shin has it on the right because it's never right side to sin. So we're going to learn the letter shin today. And I promise that's going to be it. One vowel, one more letter. I don't want to make you nuts, but we still have 20 minutes, so we can be a little nuts. And we're going to learn that vowel to make that word up today. So those are the two that we're going to hit this goal word today. So I don't flunk out of teaching 101. Shin is an SH sound, period, the end. And let's look at the bottom. No, let's not. I don't want to confuse you. We're not looking at the bottom. Don't look at the notes at the bottom. Don't look. Don't look. Don't look. I mean, even Mr. Galinkin can be confusing sometimes. Okay. Shin, let's look at line 1. Everybody. She.
She,
She,
they,
Shay, Shay,
Shin.
Okay. New letter. You know the vowels. The vowels are not new to you. No new vowel on this page. Look at this whole page. Not one new vowel. Excellent. Okay. Now you have a final mem with the she, so it's sheem.
Shame.
Sheem. Oh, wait. What's the difference between the first and the second? Again, just to double check with Elizabeth.
Just
One has the dot alone and one has the dot with the yud, but they're the same.
the yud
And
is-
how you spell it with or without the yud in there. Je ne sais pas. Okay. Sheem, sheem. Shame, shame.
shame,
Shame,
Shame.
sham,
Um,
sham. Right? Okay. All right. We'll have you on your own. Go ahead, Janice, line 3.
Shield,
Yes.
shield, shell, 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 shawl, shawl, shawl.
Right. Right. Now, in this example, in those couple of lines, the L is the end of these words, but that's it. Lamed's all over the place usually. It just happens to be that they're using it as a final letter, but in the word shalom, it's in the middle. So it's okay. Line, what are we up to? Let's skip one. Let's go to line 5. Sheila.
5. Okay.
Yeah, why not?
Okay. Shame, sham, shall, chalet, chalet, chalet.
Yeah, good. There, it couldn't be easier. When it's a single letter, don't give me a sound. I mean, unless you want to just tell me what the sound is. Harriet, line 6.
shall, shall,
Final mem, good.
lame, lam,
Nope.
lame.
Yeah.
Sha, lame, shalame.
Perfect. All right, Michelle, can you see line 7 or you can't?
No, I can see. The only thing that's not functioning other than my brain is the camera.
Oh, don't say that. What is this? Do I want to stop recording? No, I don't. Can't.
Sha, sha, sha.
Okay, where are we? Line 7, Michelle, I think?
27, shaw, 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 lay, lay, shaw, lame.
Shalom, good. It's a mem sophite is what they call a final mem, but we don't have to. We don't care what they call it. All right, who's up for an exciting thing? Marlene, how about line 8?
Okay, shalom, 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 shalom.
Excellent. Nancy, 9.
Malche, or Melech,
Yeah, there you go.
right? Melech, Shalem, Malche, Shalem, Shame, Shalem.
Excellent. Everybody's okay, right? We're hanging in. No one's upset yet. No one's crying. Good. Of course, we still don't have Oz. If anybody sees Oz tonight, ask if she's coming back. Where's my
10.
yeah, but my ads. Let's see, what line are we on? 10. All right, Toby, you ready for it?
Sure. Shalem, shalem, Shalom.
Mm,
Lechem.
Good.
Shalom.
Good.
Lechem.
Excellent. Boy, today being.
Is that a Shalem or a Shalem?
Shalom.
Oh,
Shalom.
Yeah.
Shalom.
Oh, you know what? Maybe I can't see it.
I thought it
Okay.
was 2 dots.
Me too. Me too. That's why I said it was good. Okay.
It
Next
is
week.
2
I
dots.
do own reading
is.
glasses. I never put them on. I should put them
It
on.
is 2 dots.
It is 2 dots. I didn't see it either. Sorry. Who's up? Who's ready for excitement here? Toby, have you read lately?
I just did.
You just did Elizabeth, Nancy, Elizabeth, and then Nancy the next one. Okay. 10.
Lechem.
No,
Lechem.
No, 11.
11.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay. Yeah. Line 11.
Lechem.
Yes.
Lechem.
Shame.
Sham.
Good.
Shalem. Lechem.
Right. Lechem. Who knows what the word lechem means?
Um,
Shalom.
Lechem, mina-
Lechem,
lechem. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Lechem, bread.
Oh, yeah, duh.
Isn't it Lechem?
Well, it is, but from this close enough in this thing. Lechem. Well, I say lechem, but lechem, it's really how you spell is lechem. You're right.
Lechem.
Yeah, lechem. But this is as close as you're getting in this page to see a word, another word that you should know the meaning of is lechem. Lechem. Shalom, shalem. And the final line 12, who's up to that? Nancy, have you read lately? I've lost track.
Yeah, has Janice read it all? Does Janice?
Janice,
I haven't read.
Janice, we saved the hardest line for you, honey.
Shalem.
Yes,
Lechem.
there we go.
Mi melech
Good.
malchei hamlachim.
I mean, those are words, right? Right?
Mhm.
All right. And then one for the road.
And
Next
if
page.
there's a lamed, if there's a lamed, you notice that the 2 dots going down.
Yeah, what is that?
It's a Shabbat. It's a Shabbat. We'll teach it to you soon. Don't get confused. Don't get confused. It's a Shabbat. That's almost like a short if sound, like almost like an apostrophe. We'll get to it, I promise. We're not going to do that now. We're going to do one more vowel and we're stopping. I don't care if it's time or not. And sometimes a vowel is next to a letter, like a dot in the air. And the O vowel. So if you had a lamed, make believe, you can see my hand, a lamed with an O, a dot on the top of it on the left side of the lamed, that is low, 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 tivoshi. Not that we're not how you spell it, but that would be that sound. It just lives up in the sky by itself. An O. Sometimes they give you a, remember we had the vowels with the yuds?
Mhm.
And it just kept the space. The letter Vav, remember in our original box, we had the little apostrophe and then we had a little skinny top and a down to the side. That's the letter Vav, which is a V sound. But sometimes they use that letter, like we use the Yud, which has its own sound, to make those 2 vowel sounds. They use the Vav to make the second way to make the O vowel sound. So either you have a letter, you're never going to have that dot next to the shin because you won't know where the dots are. They'll have dots on every side. But let's use it to, where's this thing? A hey. Where's my pictures? So let's use a hey. Where let me go to a hey. Let me go to a hey. So what if there was a dot? I have to go on the right side of it. To this side of it, over here. It would be, oh, here. It would be ho, like a hoe. But it might be that you're going to have a letter Vav that you'd say, well, there's a V sound. No. If the Vav has the dot over it, it becomes a vowel. It's like
a vowel sound.
E-I-O-U and sometimes Y. It's the Y of the vowel world. It's that
Okay.
regular letter that takes on a vowel sound when it's just the O. So you look at the top, and this is, we're going to end with this. I promise you, it's enough already. Poor girls are going to kill me. So line page 13, we're going to go up to page 13. We're not going any further today. So the dot at the top hanging above a letter makes it an O. M-O, mo. L-O, low. Leave another letters. B-O, bow. D-O, dough. Or the letter with a vav and the O above it. B-O, bow. H, vav, O, ho. Mem, vav, O, mo, like Mo my gardener. Okay, the two ways for you to make an O sound and a long O, like in yellow, long O. Okay, so now let's take a look at line 1, and I'm going to do this with you or for you. It's just mo,
Oh,
ho.
oh,
Now, this is really not fair. In all fairness, this is not fair. But only because you haven't learned the sin yet, because you can't double dot aside. So it's just, he shouldn't have used this as an example, but in this case, he should have put the vav next to it rather than the extra O on either side. But in this case, it's show.
Oh.
Ho,
oh, low.
ho. And then here's with the vav way. Mo,
Mo, ho,
ho,
show,
show,
ho,
ho,
low.
Interchangeable. And again, when you use each one is when you learn how to spell that word. And again, what do we say? We don't care.
So that's.
Spelling doesn't count in this class. What,
So,
Elizabeth?
so the O could be on any letter. It doesn't need a vowel. You could.
That's correct.
Okay.
If it hangs up in the sky there, it's an O.
Okay.
But sometimes they don't know where to go with it. And so they give you the vav to hold up the little dot. I don't know why. I don't know why.
But it doesn't change it. If you have
No, it doesn't change it.
If you put the vav in the O, it's the same thing.
It is.
It's okay. I just want to make
It's the same
sure.
way as in English, why we spell certain ways.
I
with
want to
the
make
A
sure
or the
that I'm
C.
understanding the
And
confusion.
yeah, it's just a different way to spell the same sound. But
Okay.
again, it's always that. It's never something else. It's always an O. So let's look at the third line. So it's loch.
Can I just ask a question? So a vav with a dot is an O. It's not.
Correct.
Did you ever say vowel?
No,
Because it's confusing. It's a letter with an O. so
all
it's
right.
a vowel.
I don't know the answer to that, but here's how I would differentiate it. And I'm not sure I'm correct, but I think I might be. If I have a vav with an O on top of it, it's an O. Vo.
Right.
It's an O.
Right.
If I wanted to make the sound in this game that I wanted it to say vo, I would put my vav and my dot on the side like any other letter. It's only when it's directly on its head is it an O. If it was a vav with the dot to the side of it, then it would be vo.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, because you're
Makes
using it as
sense
a
to me.
separate letter. Right.
Right. And sometimes it might have a silent letter next to it with a no over it just to help you do that. So let's take a look at line 3. Were we on? So it's loch. And again, that would never be the word because we'd only have a final half, right? You got it. You got it. Okay. Loch.
Low,
Low. Like low. Low.
low,
Low.
low,
Low.
low.
All right. We're just going to practice this for. We're just going to skip to line 5, and then I want you for homework to finish this and practice this page because you know these letters. So let's just do line 5 because I want you to get to the exclamation point and then feel like you accomplished something today. So
Sha,
it's
shalom,
shallow,
sha,
low,
sha,
low,
shalom.
shalom.
That's the word. Shalom Aleichem.
That's right. So now you know your new goal word. The rest of the page is practicing it. So I would say, go to that page that was 11, I think that was a review of the first unit. And then keep practicing this page because now it'll have the shin and the O vowel which is and the mems. It'll have everything we just taught you with the new vowel. And let's leave it there. And then when we come back next time, we'll keep practicing this and make sure you've got this before we go on. The next letter is easy. It's a silent letter. So it just takes the sound as a vowel. So we don't have to worry about learning something that new. So I think we're going to quit while we're ahead. And none of you have quit yet. So thank you. Next week, it's that week that I can't, but I can. So my question is, is there anybody that has a problem if we met at 3:30 instead of 1:30?
Think I can arrange that.
I may not be available at all next week. I'm not sure yet.
Okay. Now, the last thing, while I have a minute. If you go on the Women's League website, you need to log in. If you've never logged in, you just write your email and it's going to say, what's your password? You're going to click, I don't remember. I forgot my password. It's going to generate some gibberish. Don't ever type it. Cut and paste it. It'll get you into the Women's League website, and then you can go to settings and change it to your birthday, whatever you do. So that's how you get into the Women's League website. You go on the Women's League for Conservative Judaism, log in. You put your email address. If you've never done it before, you have no idea what I'm talking about, I forgot my password. Cut and paste that gibberish, because every time you try to type it, even though it's letters and numbers, it never works. Get into the pages, and then you can find in settings to change your own password. Then you can go to the Hebrew classes that are videos. It's under Hebrew classes. You can listen to every class we've taught so far. If you want to hear how the other classes are going, you can listen to any teacher, anybody, and you can literally do that and listen to all these classes, listen to it again. The other thing is, maybe by tomorrow, you can literally go on YouTube. Maybe it takes a day or two. You can literally go on YouTube, Women's League for Conservative Judaism, press it, and there are videos. Choose Hebrew classes, choose a beginning, choose me, and it'll give you the date. It might take a day or two to have that posted on YouTube, but you can do it one of either way. And you could just listen to the class again if you feel like you need the little extra review. Not that I'm that entertaining, but you might.